And then the last thing I'm going to do is the wrist and the fingers, because that's the one that does the heavy lifting. Prayer hands, open, rotate down, and come back. And again, and one more time. Go in the reverse direction. Too often I see people just shaking their hands. It's kind of jarring. Just be gentle to yourself. And just stretch out and back, out and back. And one more time, while we are ready. All right, it's always difficult to know as a teacher how much time the lesson will actually take. So I'm going to do things differently today. Many of you say, how do you do that? I can't do what you do. I would beg to differ with you do that. We're still getting some background noise. Okay.
No, we're not, Haunani.
No, not here.
No,
Okay.
we're not now. It's okay. I'm listening for it. I know I'm a little distracted, but I'm listening.
Where was I?
You beg to differ with us when we say we can't do it.
Right. So I thought I'd share with you guys how I use enhancement, because we can all do our tangles. We all do it so well. Some of us work a little on the tiny side, some bigger. Hi, Anne.
Hi.
Sorry. And you know, sometimes our lines are a little curvier than normal. We have good days, bad days, you know. But in the end, it all comes together. So I think what's different about me is how I look at enhancements. So that's what I want to start the class out with you, is to share how and why I do what I do. And then our actual lesson today is going to be dancing with diva dance.
Oh, good.
Okay. I'm going to share.
I don't have it. Look, it's empty.
Is somebody logged in 2 ways?
Somebody logged in what?
2 ways on 2 devices. No, I guess
Yes,
so.
that could be me.
Okay, because that's
I'm
the
on-
echo I was hearing. And usually when you get that kind of echo, it means you're in 2 devices, so shut one of them down.
Gotcha.
Like exit, actually exit.
Okay, let me go do that.
By the way, simple twos today, standard pen, teacher's erasers, because you guys don't use erasers, the graphite, and I'm using a white pen, gel pen today, and I'll tell you why, and then the Tortune. And I always have a pencil sharpener. So enhancements, what do I mean by that? Wait till it focuses. Okay, you're all very familiar with enhancements in Zentangle. Normally they're line weight, rounding, ordering the work that you do, shading, highlighting, and sparkle. There's a couple of other more minor enhancements, but this is pretty much what we tend to do in our everyday work. But how I use them, I actually pre-plan my shading opportunities. By that I mean, I'm trying to pick tangles that actually can be shaded and shaded well. Pick tangles that are have a lot of negative space and or positive space So negative space is the ink, positive is white. So I try to get tangles that will complement one another in that way. And then I use line weight first before I do any rounding. And after I do the line weight and the rounding, then I look for ways to create auras. Because when you create an aura, for me, that separates the work and makes it so much easier to do the shading and highlighting, which I did not put on here, did I? Well, you know, shading and highlighting is what I do. Okay. And then the final step for me is to reclaim. I go over original line work, not all of them, but when you're shading and or coloring, you tend to go over the original line work, and then it's kind of gray and faded.
Hanani, should I be seeing your desktop or just you?
Ooh, my desktop?
I don't see your desktop.
Is anyone else in the same?
No, I can see your desktop fine. Joanne, check your view at the top and make sure you're on speaker view or whatever, because she's sharing her desktop.
Okay, I put it on speaker view. Now I can see it.
Perfect.
Sorry.
No problem.
No, okay.
The only thing I missed putting on here was after I do the oraing, then I'm doing the shading and highlighting. And then reclaiming the original line work. I think that just amps it up just ever so slightly. And then because you've been using either your graphite or your color pencils, you could lose your white space. So I use the term reclaim, and this is what I use to reclaim it. I'm going to show you an example that we recently did of what I'm talking about. Peggy had us do this lesson in which we did the Urukas, henna drum, and zeppel, and poke root, poke leaf.
Both, so.
Floors.
And cool. Okay, so.
Nice.
But here's the thing. That's the lesson, right? Oh, I did shade a little bit, but. And this is the enhancements. And let me point out what I mean by the enhancements. So, see this white band here? Typically, you would start to put in another tangle, right? Because that's what we do. Whenever we find spaces in our strings, we put in a tangle. I chose not to put anything in there because I needed some positive space. I needed some black ink because of the henna drum.
Mm-hmm.
So that's how I chose to use that side. And then, because I wanted separation for the henna drum, I not only did line weight, and typically I don't make the line weight the whole width of the petal. I only do a little bit of it. But in this case, I decided it needed more definition. So then I auraed it, because if I did not aura it, I could not shade it well enough. It would be too close to the flower and there would be no differentiation. Now, this is typical shading, right? Where lines converge. But here is where I went back in and reclaimed the white space. Same thing with in here. Now this is a regular 3.5 by 3.5 tile, just what you guys are using. And then what did I not shade?
Up at the top.
Okay, so that, I didn't shade the top because I wanted to show you the difference.
The Enzeppel.
Beautiful. So I decided if I shade the Enzeppel, everything starts to look muddy. There's too much shading going on. So I'm leaving it blank other than, so this is against the rules, other than where it was shaded to show depth. Now I did a little bit on this inside, but I left the Enzeppel. But what else did I do with the Enzeppel?
You added ink,
Where?
On the edges.
the edge.
Yes. And the reason I did that is there's so much black here, or not so much, but there's a good nice amount of black and nothing anywhere else. So, and I wanted it to be subtle. Okay, so this is just my thinking, all right? Not a rule or anything. I wanted it to be subtle, so I used the the in-between spaces to do that. And I thought, oh, okay, that looks okay. But it doesn't show up on the pink as well as it shows up against white. Now you can really see. So I like that effect because I did not put a border on this. I like this effect even more.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Neat.
I didn't do anything, guys, right? All I did was pick something to complement what I had already done and try something else. So this is a regular Zendala, and this is a 5x5 tile. I never thought to play around with that, but I'm going to start playing around with even cutting the tiles into shapes for cards or notes other than just square tiles. Nothing wrong with the square tiles. They are quintessential. I would never leave them, but every once in a while I like to play around. So that's what I did with the enhancements. Don't think, let me just check my notes. So under the camera, my eyes can't see, but you see how that spot there could be colored in and that could be a better line. I would not recommend you buy a camera just so you can see these things, but when you see it like that, you kind of want to go back in. Now, the other thing I did, and I only discovered this recently when I was teaching another class, I asked Linda McMeekin, Linda, do you have any whiteout? Well, I know this demographic knows what whiteout is, right, Anne Marie? Okay. Anyway, of course, no whiteout, and even if we had, it would be solid by now. But I had my gel pen. Is that not whiteout?
Yeah.
So the poke leaf, I lost the stems because they were so thin. So you'll note now that I'm pointing it out, I reclaimed them with the gel pen to highlight them. And I have to go over this because it was on black. So I have to put another coat of the white. I lost some of my sparkle, if you will, on the henna drum. So again, I used the gel pen for that. Questions? No questions.
No. So you had the concept in your mind before you started, I'm thinking, starting with the Aruka in the center.
Correct. Well, the assignment that Peggy gave us was we had to use certain tangles.
Yeah,
Maruka was a big one to use. I could have done something like that. I was playing around, but I ended up doing, because she had the string,
yeah,
so I thought Aruka, I'll try Aruka in the center. But I didn't know how it was going to come out, so I waited till I drew the line before I decided. And then henna drum just seemed natural on the four edges.
yeah.
And then Enzeppel for the background. The trouble I had though thinking then was, what do I do with these three circles that I had? So I left the center one open, but I used orbs. They're kind of funky shaped orbs. So funky that I had to look closer to see, are those orbs? Like here.
Kind of like rocks.
Yeah, you know, it was like, did I try to do Pokrut or something? So anyway, in the final, as I'm giving the details, I converted whatever I started out doing into orbs. Again, shape, so henna drum has this circular, so shape.
And the Aruka is with a wavy line instead of a,
Yes, yeah,
yeah.
good catch. So this is
I
the
like
shape,
that, yeah.
and Aruka, it,
And I
Peggy,
like the variation in spacing instead of everything being so perfectly aligned, leaving some open space.
right, so you have to literally play with your tangles,
Yeah,
because you learn the tangle, and then you try to fit it into a string, and it doesn't always go well in a string because you didn't learn it in that string. And then you have to start to morph it so that it works for you. I like curvy lines, and so I like that curvy line better than I like the straight lines, but the straight lines can be pretty powerful because you see where I have these X's. I'm thinking I could put a tangle in there. I'm not sure what I would have put in there, but I left them open. That's why I marked them, to remind myself not to do something. Because that's the other danger, is you do too much and then there's no coming back. Which, any further questions?
Yeah, Hanani, can you put that other one back that you just had?
This one?
Yes, I was trying to do that and I lost an understanding of what I do first. If I make the center circle first, do I then do the lines or?
You
No.
always, with Arucus, you always do, when we did it at the last couple weeks, Arucus, you always do the circle first and then the line. Whether your circle is wide or narrow, whether your lines are wide or narrow, it's circle first, then the line.
Okay, thank you.
Sorry, Haunani, I couldn't help myself.
No, you taught that lesson. Only if you do the circle and then the line do you get this step function.
Correct.
going on.
Yes, right.
That's lost. And because I varied my width, like on here, I did not vary. So it came out a nice pattern, but you can't see it as well. It's here, but it's not as well defined. I would have defined it better when I would shade, and I might have colored, but I just didn't finish it. And Joanne, to answer your question, because Aruka starts with a circle, you know me and gemstones.
yeah. Yeah.
Did everyone's questions get through? So are you looking at enhancements perhaps a little bit differently?
Yes.
Okay, which now brings us to dancing with diva dance. So diva dance intrigues me. It's there's so many variations. You can do short roundish blobs, and I'm going to show you some examples, okay? Or medium oval blobs, or long skinny blobs, and it changed the whole look. Or you can do the rock and roll, which is circular, more like a flower, and often used as an O in lettering. Or you could do freeform. I was never taught freeform. I was taught the 1, 2, and 3, the short, medium, and long, and rock and roll. But I've seen some freeform, so I wanted to play with that. And here's an example of how you can take a tango that you like and play with it. Because again, we're taught how to do the tango, and then we try to fit it into a string. Sometimes we're successful, sometimes we're not. And it's helpful, especially if it's a favorite tango, for you to start experimenting on how you could change it so that it works for your particular composition. So I like diva dance because it fits easily into any string. And as I show you how to do it, and I know most of you have done it, but I'm going to show you the basics. And when it's done, to me, it creates a flow because of all the line work that's involved. And it can be a focal point or several focal points, depending upon where you place them. However, I didn't want to use the word con, so I just said caveats. Shading is really tricky because there's so much ink that you use. So this is where I pre-plan positive space. For example, an aura where there's no ink. And the reason for that is you can't shade well over black ink, right? It turns gray on you. It's matte. So it gets muted. So I'm going to show you an example of how you can't do it before I show you how to do the tangle. All right? We good so far?
Mhm.
So I tried this to show you guys.
Ooh,
Camera really shows the,
wow.
so I did a vertical, the skinny one. So you see the flow, how it just kind of, anyway, so I like that. But when you do it with the bigger blobs, you don't quite get that. But what you do, what you do get are opportunities for shading within. But because I couldn't shade well against black, I've lost this edge. Because now the shading is on the Holabod other diva, and I just lost it. So this is an example of learning the hard way to do it.
We're open Monday through Friday between 8 a.m. and 11 p.m.
Someone's phone is on.
I got it. I got it.
And then this is where I started to do some free form. Okay. Get out your sketchbooks. We're going to do the actual this is one of the easiest tangles. So in this case, I did not draw an ink line or string. I just did a pencil. And blobs are nothing more than working your string and doing a blob. Only you don't go all the way around like you would with a crescent moon. Color it in. I happen to find diva dance very soothing, somewhat like paradox, because it is repetitive. Now I'm going to turn my tile. It makes a difference if you're right-handed or left-handed, but I like to aura this way. So it's a continuous aura. And you can optionally add another line or add another blob. It's your preference. I like the feel and look of the lines. So I typically have at least 2 lines. And then this would be perfect for another blob, as with this. Now, when I said perfect, that's because there was a space, but you can ignore. You can make it asymmetrical. The main thing is not to lose your lines. Now here, I'm losing, I need more black ink. And I'm gonna do one there. So I'm deciding on the fly where I put those blobs, because it really doesn't matter. Then I need some balance on this side, so need a blob. But what that did now is it closed off that side because of the string. See why I say it's easy to work it into the string? That should be a blob. And there, done. I mean, you would do better about, filling in the blobs. The skinny one, I really like this because I love how this feels. Anyway. And you can do a mixture, skinny and blobs, your choice. I tend to work from right to left. You could work the other direction. Let me work this way. And this is diva dance is very forgiving about straight lines. So I need a little bit of black there. Actually, I need some black up here too. And experiment what works for you, whether you like 2 lines, 3 lines, or no lines. Well, you should have at least 1 line. from there. So on these small strings, it doesn't look impressive until you actually go to do something. Now, we're not doing rock and roll today, but I thought you might want to learn how to do that or be reminded on how to do that, because you might decide to use it. So I'll give you a moment. Actually, I should do the free form first because that'll follow the skinny. So free form is doing your line. And it works better with the skinny, but you can experiment. You can do some skinny and some blobs. And I was tending to just do 2 lines, but you can actually do more than 2 lines. And then you use the spaces in between like a string, and you can put in any tangle. Now for today's exercise, I've chosen to stay simple and do orbs. So this is an example of what I did here. No rhyme or reason, just, and I liked the look of it to mimic the main diva dance. Now this one, I got too much. I started off with this one, and I thought, you know, I really like more open space when I do the free form, because if you look at this part, it mimics too closely to this, and so I'm losing that tree trunk look. And I didn't like how I did that. Peggy, what's this one? Shattuck. I didn't like Shattuck, but I was just trying to get a way to differentiate between the two diva dance strings, hollabah strings, and everything else.
Sorry, I couldn't unmute myself fast enough.
But Shattuck was the answer.
Yep.
Okay, and the last one, which you may or may not, I did not use it today. Today we're just doing diva dance and orbs. So rock and roll starts off with a circle that you then circle. But as you do that, you add bumps. Where and how much bumps you add makes a difference on how it looks. And you just keep doing that all the way around. I think it's funny that they named it rock and roll. And just like the others, you don't have to keep putting a bump along the way, you can actually do some lines for a while before you add another. Let's see. One here.
So your circles are not actual circles, they're
No,
wavy circles.
right, well, they become wavy because you're adding bumps along the way.
Well,
So it's hard to stay in a neat circle. And here again, the object is not to get the perfect rows or whatever. You're just trying to create negative and positive space. And that's kind of how I think about my designs. And you just keep doing it until you're done. I think I still have. I didn't go away, guys, looking for something. Oh, I had it tagged. Huh. So this is an example of diva dance rock and roll.
That's beautiful.
Okay, if you're ready, pull out a 3.5 by 5, or I'm going to work on a 5 by 5, just so that it's bigger for you to see. You can either follow along with me, because we're all going to do the same tangle, or the same design. I'm sorry. I'm going to start off thinking you're going to do the same design. I know you're going to do your thing. The first thing we do when we follow the 8-step method, other than gratitude, so that's the second thing,
Corners.
corners. And the third is borders. So do that first. And when you're done with your borders, you're going to draw one main string from top to bottom, extending beyond the
Border.
extending beyond the border. If it makes you feel better to stay in the border, stay in the border. Not everybody likes to color outside the lines. And why did I have you draw borders if I was going to go outside? Because my free form, I want to have them stay within the borders. So literally you're doing hollow ball,
Oh,
right? Having you do hollow ball, even though you're going to see that there's a minor alteration. But I figured it was easier for my brain to be consistent. So right now on your tile, you should just have a two intersecting hollow bars.
And we're doing those with ink.
Yep. Yeah, we're going for it.
Well, I need to go back to the one.
I mean, what else would you work with?
Pencil. I would have yeah.
And then you're gonna aura your main stem. And note that when you aura your main stem, you're gonna cross over. Wait, not yet. Anyway, aura your main stem. And you're gonna cross over your hollow ball. And you're gonna think, wait a minute. But just do it. Work with me. So you do it the main stem that's on top, and then you do the same aura of this equal width on the hollow ball beneath.
Okay.
Yes.
Say again, Susan? We're just creating the string right now, guys.
Should we fill it in with orbs? The way you have?
Fill them in with the orbs, but before you do all the orbs, note that the auras cross over one another where they shouldn't be. So I just took the opportunity to make that crossover an orb.
Okay.
Because it was easier for my brain to figure that part out than to figure out where I stop and where or when.
Say that again.
You have this intersection, if you look up,
Yeah.
intersection right here.
Oh, I stopped. Okay.
Because you were smart.
Okay.
Good for you, Joanne.
No, I'm sorry. I was just confused because it didn't make sense to me. But yeah, I get it now.
That's how my brain.
I followed the leader, unfortunately.
Oh, yeah, the leader will get you back there. Just stay with me.
Right. I live in hope.
Such friends I have.
But it's kind of nice that the orb lines up with the holobah, though, anyway. I think it.
Maybe we could white out, right? We could white it out.
I should never have shown you that. And it's like, wow, this is so cool.
I do that all the time.
So this is how yours is going to look. I'm going to work on mine. We haven't done the bigger orbs yet, okay?
Oh,
Oh, cool.
okay.
All right.
But I just wanted you to know how yours should look. And I'm just filling in my orbs on the other direction.
I've got a lot to go to catch up.
I wouldn't worry about catching up because you can leave these orbs till later as we continue to progress. That's why I'm having you do the auras. So it basically saves you the space. Furthermore, if you draw the orbs slowly, methodically, you'll find, like Paradox, you get into a zone. And these are the types of tangles that I really prefer doing to get me into the zone. And if you never get into the zone, pick different tangles. Or pick one that does get you into the zone so you know what it feels like. And just for you, Susan, I'm going to continue my tile without filling in all the orbs. Because this is an example of how I pre-planned only after I learned the lesson from the previous one that I showed you, the one that I'd worked on.
Uruka. Yeah.
Well, no, not the Uruka, the original tile.
Oh.
I learned, oops, I forgot, you can't really shade well.
Mhm.
Sometimes in our quest to finish our tile or stay with our tile, we lose the journey. All right. All I'm going to do now is aura those orbs. Differentiate. Now I'm going to start here. So this is your typical aura. Just going to go in and then come back out. On each of the quadrants. This helps to separate the divas from the rest of the composition. So it's easier to shade, it's easier for your eyes too, to see what you're trying to do. Turn your tile. You have a loose grip on your pen. I'm going to pause for a moment to let you get caught up, because the next step will be to do the orbs in the center. You can choose another tangle. I was just trying to keep this simple, just 2 tangles.
Okay.
You won't finish the tile today, but you should have a pretty good start. And since you do know how to shade, when you come back, I'm teaching again next week. Bring your tiles back and we'll take a look. And if you want us to have, just to show us how you did, if you want some input, we can certainly do that for you.
Okay.
Okay. Now, Susan said that she didn't get a chance to do all the orbs, so I did not fill in these orbs, so that's what it's going to look like.
I think I have them all now, but I've sacrificed my lines are terrible looking.
You know, we tend to do that when we're rushing, but
Yep. Yes.
home.
Yes, 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 yes.
So I'm going to move on to the orb.
Okay.
Now, on your tile, your angle is not as steep as mine. So you can probably get an orb in with each corner, one big one.
Okay, big one.
Okay.
Again, rotate your tile. I wonder if people that are ambidextrous, they need to rotate.
Yeah.
And then off to either side, a smaller orb and a smaller one still.
Okay. Got that?
So once you get your orbs,
Oh, okay. Little ones.
there's 5 orbs, one big, 2 medium, and 2 small. Then you're going to, or and then you're ready to do your diva dance.
Hey.
Question?
Nope.
Okay.
Single order.
I did not hear that comment.
It's a single order.
Yep.
Just reminding myself.
Ah. I'm just trying to create a more gentle string in each quadrant than just a sharp angle. If Mimi were here, I wouldn't say you won't finish today.
Hey.
So once you have your string, I chose to do the bigger one, the top one, with the slender, skinny blobs. And then the cross one underneath, I chose to use the bigger blobs. You could do either direction, either way. Let me point out a few things if I could have your attention. I'll wait till I see the heads come up. Okay. So I had you do wide, narrow, wide. So if you continue to do this, it doesn't lend, oops, tie up, right side up. It does not lend itself to wide, narrow, wide, right? So you have to create opportunities so that you can do the narrow where it's narrow. But I want to point out that here is pretty much what I was able to do by increasing some of this width, but keeping it skinny in between.
Mhm.
But then I can't do it anymore because I don't have anywhere to go. So now I have to create a side, which is what I did there, to meet up with the main trunk. I'm calling it a trunk. That's what it looks like to me.
What side of the skinnies do you do the blackening?
Choose a side. I tend to do, let's see, I'm right-handed, so I tend to do right hand. And then you can, or this one I did left hand, or not left,
Yeah,
left
the
side.
top,
Yeah.
yeah, that's,
The top one looks like it's on both sides and the middle or something.
What happened is here, I started here, right, on this side. Sorry, the camera keeps going in and out, right?
mhm.
And then I got to a point where I couldn't go anymore. So then I just left it because there was nothing more to do. And then I started to bring this point,
Yeah, so much for that.
because
I
I
didn't
need
like it.
this. So again, I worked on this, but I kept expanding the bottom because I knew I would run out on the skinny side, and kept trying to make this curve. And so couldn't I have made it easier for you? Of course I could have. But I'm trying to get you more comfortable with trying to fit into a non-conventional way, how you need to adjust. Is that making sense, guys?
Mhm.
I mean, it doesn't mean you do it perfectly. It just means that, okay, I can't just keep doing a lot of skinny straight thingies. That's not going to work because I need some width at the bottom and a little bit at the top. Now, I chose just one big blob at the top. I have no idea why I did that, quite frankly. But it got me what I needed. It got me the width that I needed.
And you make the skinny lines and then put the blobs in later?
You make this,
No,
no, it doesn't work because the waves come,
right,
From the blobs.
exactly.
Okay.
The tangle gets created by the process of drawing it. And so the steps matter. I mean, the step one and then the next and then the next is that's how you actually create it. So trust it, it'll be okay.
so I'm gonna do my first skinny. I get it right because I'm right-handed.
Not so skinny. Yeah.
I'm working on a larger tile so that you guys can see. But your tiles should look like this at this point before you start.
Right.
Okay.
That's all I'm doing. Because these blobs and me are not working well together.
So this one at the bottom, I already chose to make it wider. I think I'm running out of ink on this. So diva dance is a lot of auras. Questions as you're doing this?
Excuse me, this is Mary. I just got a text that is asking me to leave class early, needing me to leave class early. So I will see you all next week.
Bye, Mary.
Have a good week.
Bye. Have a good week.
You too.
I'm not doing 2 lines each time. Sometimes I'm doing 2, sometimes I'm just doing 1 aura, just because I don't have the space. I find it interesting though, when I first got taught how to do diva, it was with the bumps, the big bumps. I
Yes.
really love that. But then I saw another person's work and it was like, wait a minute, that's diva. But I just liked how it looked. And there's nothing, and there's no right or wrong placement. As Peggy said, it's the process. So I think you're pretty comfortable with the bumps and the skinny blobs. Think you can handle the free form?
Mhm.
I hope.
Because literally the free form is you.
I think I'm going to need to practice the freeform a little bit more before I try it on the tile.
You see how many tiles Peggy and I go through, right?
Yeah, yeah.
And it's not like we don't start with scratch before. Right, Peggy?
Absolutely.
Didn't want you thinking that we were different than you.
Nope. Yep. The more you draw a tangle, the more you own it.
I like how you said that.
I was in class yesterday and we were doing Ravel, and I don't like Ravel, and it always is a challenge to me.
Ditto.
So I quit doing the tile, and instead I took a sketchbook and just drew page after page after page of Ravel. And while I can't tell you I own it, I am much more comfortable with it.
There's a rhythm on some of these tangles. Like
Yep.
with which happens to be my most favorite. But it was one that started out where I was never going to get it. So if you lose your way halfway through the length, don't fret. Again, if somebody has the time to figure out the line continuation, they really need a life. That's partly why I enjoy Zentangle. There are no mistakes and there are no rules.
Unani, at some point, do you stop what you're doing on the left side and go over to the right side?
That's, you would think that, right?
Very
However,
tempting.
I don't, Peggy, help me out here. I don't think there's a reason why you couldn't, but at
Yeah.
some point, you gotta make them marry somehow.
Right.
The concept of diva dance is in the same direction because you're continuing to build your humps, however skinny they may be, your humps and your lines directionally. That's the pattern, okay? I mean, that's the tangle, quote unquote, steps.
Right.
But the thing, and if you were to go in the other direction, you would have two tangles meeting in the center. You would not have a continuous tangle. Now, it could really be interesting to let the two tangles meet in the center, put an aura so that they don't totally meet, and then stick something in between. But the bottom line is the tangle itself is being built in one direction.
Okay.
Does that help?
It does. I was just trying to figure out how we get it to kind of curve this way, but then at some point it goes the other way.
How you
Yeah.
build your bumps.
And that's why I deliberately did this shape. You have to figure out this part. After you got the straight part, you would have to figure out how it would come out from it.
Right. This is why I don't play chess. That's a little bit too many steps ahead that I have to think.
Yeah.
But see, the bottom line, but Anne Marie, the bottom line is you don't have to. Because if you keep going, it will resolve.
It'll
Yeah.
figure itself out. Okay, I'll keep going.
I did it from each side
Yep, that's
just
okay.
because
If
that's
it,
what spoke to me.
And that's fine.
And it
It,
looks okay to me.
there's no wrong or right, y'all. No wrong or right. I should dig out that old project pack I did. How naughty that used Diva. I'll dig that out for to show next week when everybody shows their tiles. It's an interesting kind of partners with what your
Rustic,
lesson. I think you would enjoy it. It was a long ass time ago. Oh, sorry.
Hey, they're doing it on the news now, and the president's doing it, so don't worry.
oh, I don't, that's not an example I want to follow.
Mm-hmm.
So this was a lesson on diva dance and variations. You typically would not have this heavy intensity of diva dance unless you had something in mind other than a class. It was my attempt at you having to do so much of it that you would eventually get to know it. It's easier to fill in your blobs at the time rather than going back over.
Say that again. I lost the beginning.
It's easier to fill in the blobs at the time you create,
Oh, definitely. Yeah.
go back over and try to fill them in completely uneven. You should at least try to fill part of it in because otherwise you don't quite know how your pattern is developing.
Oh,
I'm going to point out something that I'm doing right now. Remember I said it's hard to shade with over ink because it gets gray?
mhm.
I only put 2 of the bumps here to give me more space here to shade.
Okay.
Ah. Mhm.
And you don't know that until you know the tangle or the quirks of the tangle. Are you finding that you're just organically making the lines and the blobs wherever it feels right?
Yep.
And you're doing it right. If you have to think too hard about where, and try to make everything even, you're more concerned with the destination than the journey, which is okay. Just, it's really nice to be on the journey.
Nani, could you move that tile up just, yeah, thank you. That's great.
I was gonna get fancy with these freeform and try to do hollow ball on them. Notice I'm not. Sometimes the brain power just isn't worth it. Good thought, but if you've ever taken watercolor lessons, that's one of the things you learn early on is know when to stop.
Now, Nani, I need to leave. Thank you very much. And I'm assuming you want us to finish this till next week.
Yes, please. And start shading, or if you're not comfortable, you can wait till you come back and then we'll help you with that.
Thank you very much.
You're welcome.
Bye-bye. Have a good week, Janet. Thank you.
But we're almost at our noon.
Oh, oops. Leave.
Okay. Oops.
I have to leave. Bye, everybody.
All
Bye.
righty.
Bye-bye.
Take care.
You want to stop sharing a minute, Haunani? And we'll see if anybody wants to.
So I just want, before I stop sharing,
I'm sorry. Okay.
I just wanted to show you how I tried to do this. Oops, did this,
Ah,
and then the freeform. There's no rhyme or reason where I'm putting the orbs. I'm just being whimsical. Because this is so rigid that I just wanted freeform. Okay, stop sharing.
okay.
No rush intended. Sorry.
Yeah, I'll show because I've got to go.
Okay. All right. Let me spotlight.
Oh, pretty.
Oh, lovely.
Like that.
Good.
Cool.
Yeah,
Good
That looks
job.
great.
Very nice.
Awesome.
Kind of got the tangles, right?
You did. You got them perfect.
Yeah.
Good,
Very
good,
nice.
good.
I'd like to show two.
You got it, Margaret.
Oh,
It's
That
Oh.
looks great.
no, it said it was
Nice.
across to me. And
nice.
that's
Very nice.
on Easter, and that's why.
Yeah,
That looks
Yeah.
great.
nice.
Great.
Nice.
It was a lot of work, but oh, Margaret.
Y'all have a good
Anybody else?
weekend. Have a
You
good
too,
weekend.
Susan.
You too, Susan.
Is anyone else just dying to show? I'm happy to spotlight.
I'll show. I don't have much done.
Okay.
I just.
Okay, wait, you just
Kind of.
moved. Hold on one second.
Oh, pretty.
Very
Okay, there.
nice. It's so neat.
Yeah.
Nice.
It's a start.
Good.
Oh my.
Yeah.
Awesome.
Thanks.
It is.
Terrific.
Everybody good?
Yep.
Peggy, I'd like to show
Next week.
I'm sorry, was that
Anne.
Anne? Okay, I gotcha. Hold on one second. Okay.
Oh,
Anne.
pretty. Pretty
I
photo.
love it.
Very
that's
good.
awesome.
The difference between this one and the others. There's no regularity to the orders there.
No, and you
Looks
did
really
beautifully
good.
exactly what you should.
Gorgeous.
And can I show you last week's since I
Yes,
I
of
did
course you
this
can.
for the video?
Yeah.
So this was
Oh, wow.
Whoa.
what I
Oh,
ended
that
up
is
yes.
with
so
last
nice.
week.
Nice.
Very cool.
I like it.
I enjoyed doing this.
Very good.
Good.
Like the
I'm
border, too.
glad. Awesome.
Okay.
Did I miss anybody else who really wants to show us? All right. Yes.
Peggy.
Yes, Mary.
I don't want to show. It's too messy. But I have had the most amazing experience, and I'm dying to tell y'all about it. It has to do with my hearing loss. If you have time for a story at the end.
Okay. Well, go
Sure.
for it, Mary, because this is as end as it gets.
You know I have to leave.
Yep. I got it. We'll talk tomorrow.
Next week's what?
Okay. All right.
Looking for it.
Okay, Mary.
You ready for me?
I am ready for you.
Okay, I have had a cochlear implant.
Oh,
So I had the surgery. This
Wow.
has been several weeks, doing fine. I came home from the surgery and I heard music, a chorus of men singing patriotic songs. They sang God Bless America. I assumed that my neighbors downstairs were playing this music because it was out of my head. And they sang, and I knew which verse they were singing on This Land Is Your Land. So my daughter, who I live with, didn't hear it, and I just thought, oh, this is my exceptional hearing now.
Yeah.
Well, finally, and then I got it in the car to go someplace, and I heard it out of the out of the building. So I knew it was not my neighbors, and it was something in me. Finally looked it up on the internet, and it has a name. It's called it's musical ear syndrome.
Yep.
And what happens is your brain is trying to make up for the deprivation of sound that have you heard of this?
I have
Peggy?
actually. I have actually, but that's
And
just
this
because I
is
work
not,
with deaf
has
folk.
nothing to do with mental illness.
No,
You
it
know,
isn't at
we
all. No,
immediately
not at
think
all.
that.
Wow.
And so I couldn't believe it. It was so strange. And so I started playing the piano more. Music does not come in well for an implant,
Right.
but you have to really work at it. So I started playing the piano more. I go to my ukulele, and it's practically gone away.
Good.
Wow.
Oh, but
That is
I called I
fantastic.
haven't told my audiologist. I wrote her a note. I called my friend who's had this for years, an implant. She never heard of it.
I think
So
so.
anyway, that's my story. It's
That is
hilarious.
amazing,
it
Mary.
was a gift in a way. It was a gift.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes. You're
That's
special.
wonderful.
Well, it can make you feel a little crazy, right, Mary? So luckily you figured it out.
Yeah.
Exactly.
And why didn't my daughter hear it? And they were very good. They were accomplished musicians.
I know. I know. The brain is an amazing organ.
Yes.
Yeah, it's amazing.
We know so little about it. And when there are gaps, I'm telling you, it tries to fill them. It's amazing.
Yeah.
Anyway, that's it.
Well, Mary, thank you for
Thanks for
sharing.
sharing that.
Yeah.
Yes.
Absolutely.
That was cool.
Y'all have a good weekend.
Yeah.
All
See
right.
y'all
Y'all
later.
take care.
Good now. Take care.
Bye.
Mary, that's wonderful. Thank you for sharing.
Yes.
Yes, and we're going to keep it in the recording, Mary, because it's just too perfect.
Oh.